Okay, so Marc, I'm really honored that we are in a beautiful process of documenting everything that is going on in your life, because you have a really special project that you are working on, and I think it's best if you tell everyone what it's all about, because when I do it, it's different than when it comes.
Thank you, Suzanne. So we're starting a great experience, 3 years experience together here. And we decided to document what I will be going through with the whole team. And the purpose is to beat and to reach the world record sailing, so on the water, high speed. It's something like 66 knots, nautical knots. So it's about 120 kilometers an hour for the pilot. And the whole challenge is like a long story. When I was a kid, I started windsurfing when I was 10 or 12. And I've been always in this very special sports like windsurfing, kite surfing, sailing, all these things are on the sea, and I love it. And so it's been a dream. And when I was in my engineering school of l'École Centrale in Lyon, in France, I worked with some other guys there on inventing a new sail to beat this 50 knots speed, which was mythical.
Even then.
Sorry?
Even then, you were already developing,
Yeah, and then so that was 30 years ago. And then we had a patent, we did amazing things, research, prototypes, and then we split through the planet, like here and there, and we stopped the project. And 30 years later, I met a world champion who was like the fastest man at this time with 53 knots on the water, which is almost 100 kilometers an hour. So Antoine Albeau. And this guy just started his professional life in windsurfing 30 years ago in 92, when we had this prototype. And so the story is quite amazing, because we now see each other. We commit together as a team, and with a new core team around us of the best experts on the planet. And the purpose is to reinvent this discipline, to have one man just by himself on a small engine going in light winds at 120 kilometers an hour on the water. And invent something that will allow many people to go very, very fast, very, very easily. So the whole program is a lot about technology, and it's all based on my philosophy of ultra-performance through human empowerment, which is you take a project and you get at a very high level technically, and also having people empowering themselves, accomplishing themselves, fulfilling their life with the others collectively. So we're like very connected. So we play and work on both sides, the technology to achieve our goal, and in the meantime having people connected. So it's like in this group, we create like a new mindset, a real philosophy where there is no ego, there is no judgment of the other. We interact all together. There is no tension, no conflicts. The leadership is alternating from one person to another, and for the best of the collective and the best of the group and the project. So that's what I've been developing for 30 years in the industry, in extreme sports, with already achievements and world records in different fields, like mountain bike speed with 228 kilometers with Eric Baron. Also on snowboarding with Edmond Plavzik with 203 kilometers an hour on the snowboard. So we had to reinvent the sports, reinvent new tools, gears, to have these champions just do it. So that's my job. My job is about technology and human dimension, human connection,
Yeah.
and how you create this momentum.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we're gonna spend 3 years on this, and the purpose here, because of what we talked about, Suzanne, is to explore how the human vulnerability, sensitivity can be a real tool, a real extra powerful help in achieving big things. And so I'm very excited about exploring this. I had no idea of where we're going.
Yeah.
You will be guiding this whole thing. So that would be like a weekly interview,
Yeah.
short, 15 minutes, and we try to see like about some technical side, some connections, I don't know, emotions.
Yeah. Yeah. So people have special access to this wonderful project that is co-creating. And it was wonderful when we, because I contacted you for a special interview, because I had the feeling that it is a great example what you do when you're highly sensitive and also highly gifted. That it is possible to function in a way also as a high achiever, but also work with high achievers, and to show people that when you're sensitive, and also as a sensitive man, you can honor your sensitivity and your vulnerability and still pursue the things and that you have to pursue in life.
Yes.
That's and from there it developed into something beautiful. Yeah. So all about UltraPerformance, getting the best out of life, knowing that there is more, and you can work on that in filtering what is most important, and also take that your talent within your sensitivity to another level. And I like it that you said that this is not a step-by-step process, or like a religion or something that you have to follow. It's like your philosophy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you play with these two dimensions in the systems that we are working in or living in. We make a big difference between technical achievements and emotions, connection. It's like, oh, either way, you choose if you're like more the technical side or on the emotional side. And actually, when you're at the highest level, you have to be on both dimensions. And if you take, for example, in arts or sports like dance or ice skating, the best of the best are the ones who are so emotionally connected to what they're doing and so technically evolved at the highest level. And these people just like touch the public, they touch the judges, because they just like put all these things together.
Yeah.
And you can do the same with yourself and do the same with your team. So that's what UltraPerformance is about. You got these two dimensions.
Yeah.
And you rise and they rise and they help each other to leverage. So that's what I've been exploring for, like, I don't know, years and years. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
thank you for doing that.
Here we are. Yeah, thank you.
And there was a point in your life where you just knew you wanted to do it differently.
It's like, yeah, I mean, it's a long story, because I started when I was a kid. I was very emotional, very sensitive, and then I switched to this engineering side, where you become a machine, and had to deal with my projects in the industry, in extreme sports, and it's like go, 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 and being the pure performance. So I've been doing this for years and years, like maybe 20 years. And 5 years ago, I was on the top of the mountain. That's what I'm explaining in my book. I was on the top of the mountain waiting for a world record results, like 220 plus kilometers an hour for the mountain biker Eric. And I was on the top of the mountain. I got the results, and I was so exhausted that after getting the world record, I couldn't stop crying for half an hour. It's like crying of joy, but like crying and crying and crying and cleaning my whole body and soul with like all these tears. I couldn't control them. There were all these guys with cameras around because we had like a TV production team, and so I've got all this stuff, and this video went on YouTube, and it's like the total is maybe like 10 or 15 million views, you know. And so the machine that I was like crying on YouTube for forever. And it's been a big shock because I was like, okay, there is a big problem here. We made a world record, and since there is some frustration, there's some kind of you're depressed, you don't understand what's happening. Yeah. There's so much tension. It's pure performance, and you reach it, but you lose so much in the meantime. So something is wrong. And since then, I've been like trying to understand what happened. And then step by step, I understood that we could reach a new balance in any organization with both sides, and I would say aligned and balanced. Mm-hmm. And since then, we've been able to work on crazy projects and do some other world records using it on a willing base. We created. It's like, okay, we're conscious that we need this, so let's do it. You know, so it's totally different. It's not like it's falling on you or because there is a manager that is good at it. No, you do it on purpose. You create this environment on purpose. And when you're highly sensitive, the main difference is that when you step in the room, in the project, or you meet the others, you feel like stepping in your best friends, like, or, you know, people you feel comfortable with. Your vulnerability is okay. You're like, you can rely on the others, you know. And as a sensitive person, it makes a whole difference. Yeah. Because you're not fighting against the elements, you're not fighting against the others. You create an environment in which you are like feeling so good. So the results are totally different. So that's where it comes from. So there was this shift 5 years ago, and since then we've been working on this UltraPerformance that became like a real philosophy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in fact, it was a kind of a blessing to be. Let's picture yourself on top of the mountain, and worked for so long on the project, and then you achieved it, and all the emotions came at once.
Boom.
Yeah. And then within your mind you thought there's something wrong. Well, not.
it's like you know, it's like a tsunami. It's like you achieve it, and in the meantime you're the most depressed person on the planet. It's like you're so happy and you're so sad, like something is totally wrong, you know. So yeah. Your mind is like, bloom. Something's wrong. So that was a big shift. That was a big shift.
Yeah. And what were the emotions that can you describe the emotions on top of the mountain back then?
Besides so it starts, you're there, you've been waiting for this moment for years. So it's like a 3 years project, and you've been struggling, it's been hard, and you couldn't do it, and because of many things. And then you're waiting for it. So you're waiting for the world record not to be achieved. So like, it's like you pray for having it, but in the deepest of yourself, you're like, we won't make it. It's too short because the track was not that good. There was like many problems. And the world record to achieve was 222.22 kilometers an hour. Okay, 222. Oh. And when I heard 223 kilometers an hour, which was just like 1 extra kilometer an hour, I was like, please repeat it. I didn't even say, yeah, I was like, please repeat it. Because what you don't know is that the year before, or 2 years before, we were on the top of the mountain, another track, on the top of the mountain, and we were supposed to break the very same world record of 222. And we heard on the walkie-talkie, 230. I heard 230. And all of a sudden it was like, it's great. And in the deepest of myself, I knew, because I'm an engineer, I knew that it was not possible. But because of the pressure, I was like, I heard that, the other guy heard that as well, Sam, and we're so happy. But it was not the case. It was not 230. We didn't make it. I didn't share the real number. That was only like 211 or 15, I don't remember. So this time I was like, yeah, can you repeat it? Like 2, 2, 3 to make sure. And then it was there. It was like, you have it. And then you don't control anything. It's just like, okay, it's done. And all of a sudden, everything, like, you feel like you disappear in the snow.
Exactly.
You don't have any physical existence. You're like,
yeah,
it's all gone. You don't even move. You're like stuck. You see it on the video. I'm just stuck there, and the guy come to me saying, "Yeah, great." I'm just like, I can't move. I'm just like, okay, we made it.
Yeah.
And then crying, and then everybody leaves the place, because it's on the top of the mountain, so it's like flat part, and then you got the slope, which is 45 degrees angle. It's like 1 kilometer an hour, 1 kilometer, 0.5, and then it's flat there. And so we go up back on the top of the mountain. Everybody leaves, take the material, go down. So everybody is down there, and nobody, we're like 6 people up there. Everybody leaves, and I'm just alone with the guy with the camera. I'm just alone on the top. It's like everybody's gone. So like, I've done the job, and I'm there. I'm like, wow, it's over. It's like, bing, finished.
Yeah.
And I go down the slope, and I cry. We like playing with the air, just by myself. It's like 7, 8 in the morning, so the ski resort is closed. We're just by ourselves. And so we go down like this, and then I go back with the people, and I find the people again. I see the people there, and all this moment took half an hour. That's crazy.
Yeah, and it changed.
That was a huge shock.
Yeah.
Emotional shock, like back to the roots, back to the deepest of yourself.
Yeah.
With the deepest questions. You're like, what's the meaning of all this? Like,
yeah. Beautiful.
So you're happy, and you're really, really shocked.
Yeah, all at once.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. You've been suffering so much to get there.
Yeah.
So much stress, you know?
So when
then I decided to change it all. I was like, okay, next world record, that would be different. Can do it this way, ever. You know?
Yeah.
So that's how it's. I would say that's how it started again. Like, I got back to my deepest emotions, deepest way of doing things.
Yeah.
But I got scared with one thing. Since I shifted to this like emotional side, like you have it, and I'm gonna use it, I'm gonna play with it. I was scared of losing my technical abilities. Or like, okay, if I make a ride, I might lose everything about my technical know-how as an engineer. Like, you're not as good as making the rational decisions, you know? So I was going there, but without being very sure of what will happen. It's like, you go on the dark side, you know?
Yeah.
You go on the dark side. You're not allowed to be there. Okay, I go there, but I'm very careful because I don't want to lose like what I know.
Yeah.
So that was like almost a decision to say, okay, do we let go that much to play with these two things? But what happens is that those two things, technical side and the human, emotional, vulnerability, sensitive side, they are very complete. They create, the yin and yang thing. It's like those two work so well together if you allow them to be together, So so my whole life just like changed.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. And in what other ways did it change besides the professional part and then?
It allows you to reach the highest level of spirituality. because you can be connected to anything. You're not disconnected from the universe. So you're connected. So everything is giving information around you. So you can trust more things around you because you're so connected. You can feel things happening. You can feel behaviors. You can feel so many things, you know. And you know that everything is for the best. Everything that happens is for the best. Because you learn from there, and there's nothing good or bad. It's a whole bunch of like signs, informations, feelings, you know. And when you look at around you this way, when you're very sensitive, because you get so much from outside, you know, you're like overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But the key is that just let it come and do something with it. Don't be scared, because that's the universe is talking to you much more than to anybody on the planet, you know. You're like highly gifted to receive signs. So all these signs make sense. All these signs help you to just like behave in a different way, go further, be more connected to your real life, to who you are, in the deepest of yourself. So it's just like, it allows you, it's like it unlocks the door. It allows you to be as simple as that. You can be. If you're scared, and that's something I talked to with my daughter, Jeanne, who's she's 17, soon, next month, 2 months from now. I tell her, you know what? It's like, don't struggle. It's okay. It's all good. You're blessed to have this. That would be the gift of your life. It's not. And when you're a teenager, you know, it's like very difficult because you're so different from the others. You want to disappear. You just you don't want to exist anymore because you feel like you're different. But I mean, it's such a powerful thing. It's the best way to be connected to your own life.
Yeah.
So that's why I could like find again after this like blackout of, I don't know, between 15 and 45. You know, it's like 30 years, some kind of 30 years of blackout. You know? So.
Yeah. Thank you.
And here we are.
Yes. Well, when I like I told you, when I heard you speaking at a wonderful meeting with Fabienne, I of course I analyzed the nonverbal language and aligned it with many other perspectives, and that's why I thought, yes, that man could be highly sensitive. Let's contact. And from there, many beautiful things will happen. And I like that you're setting an example, because we need, I know you don't like to lead teams, and you're more of the co-creation perspective. But what it is that the world needs, it really is the sensitive leaders who can create the philosophy that you develop, that you're working on, that you implement within teams and other areas, where safety and kindness and have the total permission to be vulnerable is where people thrive. And what's good for sensitive people is, of course, also really good for other people at the same time. So thank you for that. That's what we need in the world.
Thank you for being sensitive to this and like highlighting I would say this potential, because it's real potential. It's not a weakness. I've been living with this weakness in my mind, like you're weak because you're sensitive, but it's not a weakness, it's a gift.
Yeah.
It's a real power.
Yeah.
It's the power of existing, like impacting, influencing, connecting people, connecting to, I mean, anything that you do is connected to the universe, indeed. So I'm very glad that we go and we experience this series of immersive questions. There will be some technical stuff. There will be things about emotions, things about connection, new people, bad surprises, good surprises,
Real
failure,
life.
life. You can see that everything is an opportunity. Everything is a gift.
Yeah.
There's no good or bad thing. Everything is there for a reason.
Yeah.
For a good reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's I think maybe for our first I would say our pilot. It like gives an idea of like the mindset, what we want to do, what we want to explore. And so that would be once a week. So every week, if you agree on that, we got like 15 minutes together.
Yeah.
And we go like bam, 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 point after point, and give inputs, feelings, and maybe there could be questions between, the recordings. So why not? If you have like questions coming back from your audience, or people around us, maybe we
will
tweet and
implement
answer.
it.
Yeah, we implement them, and we just answer to a few questions. Why not?
Yeah, great.
That could be cool.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, and we'll keep everyone updated about this wonderful journey.
Thank you, Suzanne. So talk to you next week then.
Yes, we will. Okay.
Thank you very much.